live now. How is everyone doing? Let me just add my Spotify like song thing so I don't get DCMA striked here, which probably useful if I can show all the artists and the songs that I'm listening to. Just give me a second, guys. I think it's window capture. Okay. There you go. Since I'm doing the coding on the right hand side, let's move that to the left hand side. And I think we should be good now, right? Okay, cool. Now let me just test for the quality, and hopefully the audio quality has improved quite a lot because I've been messing around with my OBS, so let's have a look at that. I've been messing around with my OBS, so let's have a look at that. So yeah, sounds good, and the camera seems to be smooth enough as well, which is definitely a good thing. Cool. Let's have a look at that. Right, I think we're ready to start then. So yeah, let's get to it. So welcome back if you're watching this, and in this video in this stream I'm going to be further setting up the Vim IDE sort of project that we're taking on with this Raspberry Pi 4. So basically turning the Raspberry Pi 4 into a fully fledged development machine, I guess, even though it's quite slow. And yeah, in the previous streams we installed nvim, we set up the themes for coding, we set up uComplete.me, which gives us kind of IntelliSense capabilities in nvim, and we started setting up the nvim-dap, so the debugger adapter protocol plugin for it, which kind of basically means that you can essentially debug a program within Vim. So you can set up breakpoints, you can hit the breakpoints, you can do things that you would normally do with something like Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code inside Vim. So that is what we're going to be trying to do today. And I think last time, if I remember well, and let's actually, and for anyone wondering, I'll just neo fetch stuff here so you can see my my build details and my sort of platform details as well. So you can see as well, I'm on a Raspberry Pi Model 4, Raspberry Pi 4 Model B, and yeah, you can see the rest here as well. So I'm using a Manjaro XFCE build, which seems to work quite well, although there are some, in my opinion, some issues, like the YouTube playback, for example, is very, very slow, and web browsing in this little machine here is actually quite a challenge because everything it seems to be really, really slow. So, but that's not going to put us down. So let's get into it. Yeah. So essentially, last stream, I think I stopped when I managed to install the nvim-dap plugin, and I actually added a few things into my vimrc. In other words, I added a few Lua calls here, which will, according to the documentation of nvim-dap, would set up the debugger essentially. And one of the things I did notice when looking at this again today was that there are a few things that don't really exist in my machine. For example, I believe this chunk of code here from line 48 to 52, and I hope you can see this. Let me turn it up a little bit so you can see better. This is kind of setting up the C++ DAP here, and it's taking the path to the lldb executable from what I can gather here, I can understand. And this is the path essentially, which is not quite the path that is in my laptop, in my computer, because I do have lldb, I do have clang installed, and therefore I've got lldb installed as well, which is the debugger for clang. But if I'm if I'm not mistaken, it's probably not. It's definitely not lldb-vs code. So, I mean, this is the one I've got. So let's try and change that, just so we don't have any problems in the future. However, let's just remember that, you know, I guess that it's this used to be the path here. So let's just copy and paste it as a sort of like a backup. So if things go wrong in the future, we can at least change it back to what it was. Okay, so I copied one too many quotation marks. And let's actually change this here to just lldb. The rest of it seems fine. I couldn't really spot anything sort of major that's not quite right in my computer. So let's save that vimrc. And well, that's all well and done. And let's actually, if I remember well, we saved this article. We saved this article here by someone called, I think it's Dave Lage. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it basically goes through how to install nvim-dap and how to get it running with lldb. And this is basically what we followed, as opposed to the GitHub page of nvim-dap, because that was actually quite cumbersome and I didn't want to spend a lot of time reading that just to set up a Vim plugin. So I think this is probably a little bit, you know, easier for us to just get going with. So, and you know, before I continue, I'm just going to check the volume of the music just to make sure it's all fine. So I'm just checking it on my channel. I hope you guys don't mind. Change this here to just lldb. The rest of it seems fine. I couldn't really spot anything sort of major that's not quite right in my computer. So let's save that vimrc. And well, that's all well and okay. No, it does sound good. And the reason why I'm checking it is because I added some plugins to sidechain the computer audio into the microphone. So whenever I'm speaking into the microphone, the audio should hopefully go down. So that's the idea here. So I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. Okay, so at least the music is sort of, you know, it can be heard. Anyway, let's get back into it. So yeah, I mean, last time I did copy all of this stuff into my vimrc, and we did copy all the remappings as well. Although I did take it out, I did take this particular mapping out because it was interfering with my uCompleteMe command to find a definition of a particular function or a header file. So I removed it temporarily, and you can kind of see it here at the very end, I believe. So yeah, this line here is commented out, but maybe we'll bring it back. But anyway, so let's continue reading this and see where we get to. Damn, that water was good. So okay, so we kind of just pasted that configuration in there, and now he's just saying kind of, you know, just run it, just set some breakpoints and run it, but he's not exactly explaining how you can do that with lldb. And to be honest with you guys, I've never really used lldb before. I just thought I'd try it out for the first time because it seems to be sort of the best debugger to use with this nvim-dap for C++, because I couldn't really find out much on, you know, integrating GDB to nvim-dap. So all of the stuff I found was basically using lldb by Clang, you know, the Clang debugger, or the llvm debugger. Clang is a compiler, isn't it? I suggest running, starting with 2 actions, setting breakpoints, and running the debugger. The debugger allows us to stop execution and look at the current state of the program. So just move the microphone a little bit. Go to a line where a conditional value is set and toggle the breakpoint. I mean, you can make this call here to set the breakpoint. Okay, so it does go into hopefully how to start a debugger. Then we'll start a debugger. If done correctly, you see an arrow next to your line of code. Okay, there's way more to this. Oh, okay, now let's try and just set a breakpoint to our project and see how it goes. So if we move this here, let's just open this a little bit more. Need some more space for Vim. And let's go into our audio project. And if you haven't watched this is basically the project that I've been working on in the past few streams, where I'm using Port Audio to create an audio engine, which is not quite yet complete, but it's a nice use of a nice use of a project here just to test out things. Let's open Vim. Let's open our file manager. Let's move it a little bit here. Okay, and let's basically open the main file here. Okay, cool. I definitely need to shorten some of these lines because they don't really work very well here on Vim. How many columns do we have? Yeah, we've got about 65 visible columns here. I mean, I guess this is because of the font size. I mean, if it was a smaller font size, I'd probably be able to get a good 75 characters, width-wise. But anyway, let's try and set a breakpoint. And if I'm not mistaken, there was lldb. Okay, lldb toggles the breakpoint, and $B sets the breakpoint. Okay, well, all we need is the small b, right? So let's find main here. Where's the main function there? Let's just put breakpoint here. So essentially this is saying, okay, so it does set up a, okay, so $B, what does it do again? $B, set breakpoint, vim input breakpoint condition. Okay, so $B will do a conditional breakpoint, and just the small b will just set the breakpoint. Okay, so we set a breakpoint here. Now the thing is, how do we start lldb on this particular program? If I can guess correctly, since lldb is the Clang compiler, I would definitely have to compile my project with Clang in debug mode and somehow plug my nvim-dap to the lldb instance, which is debugging my code. But I don't know how to do that, so I guess this is what we're gonna find out. Okay, I wish this guy explained how to actually start a debugger. We'll keep this article here. So let's see if someone else can give us a nicer tutorial. And again, I do apologize for the way I'm browsing the internet here. I know the screen is quite small, but I've only got a Raspberry Pi, and I'm trying to keep the screen to a minimum here because I'm using the terminal on the other side, and I want you guys to see the terminal because that's the most important thing, not what's on the browser. So I hope that's okay. Okay, before we do any of this, let's split horizontally here. So the code is up here, and I just want to oh, so lldb VS Code does exist, in fact, doesn't it? Oh. Okay, cool. So it does exist. Okay, which kind of means that I can just close this buffer here, close that as well. Now let's actually move the backup configuration back to where it was, because I think that was actually right. Yeah, this should be lldb -VS Code, which seems to come with the lldb package, because that's everything installed today. Okay, so let's open that file again. Okay. So if we do B here, so we've got the breakpoint there set. Now the question is, I've got this compiled and it's built for debug. How do I get it debugging in lldb? And I think by I've got this compiled, I think I mean I compiled it using GCC. So maybe I have to recompile using clang. So C++, Rust, okay. If you want to be able to attach to running processes, add another configuration entry described here. You can find more configuration options here. Okay, I mean, this is the same problem. I mean, we've got a configuration file here. Oh, no, this. Oh, it does explain everything I was kind of assuming here. So modern lldb installations come with a binary called lldb VS Code. For the following to work, make sure the binaries lldb VS Code depends on LLVM symbolizer. For the following to work, make sure the binaries lldb VS Code depends on okay, this is just, I was trying to understand this, but it's just bad English, I guess. So yeah, just gotta make sure this is in my path, and LLVM symbolizer is in my path as well. Let's try that. Symbolizer. No, that one is not. Have I misspelled it? Symbolizer. Well, let's ignore LLVM symbolizer for now. This looks surprisingly similar to the VS Code launch.json. I think it's because this is a, this is basically used in VS Code, isn't it? So it's the same thing. Yeah, you can see this is a JSON file. Type lldb launch, and then the program that's going to run, usually you give it a path to a program. But from what I can understand here, this is, when you start debugging, it's going to ask you for a path to execute. Get current working directory and the file. Okay, so okay, and you can pass in arguments and stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, I do believe that I'm going to have to recompile everything in GCC, right? Sorry, not GCC. Clang, that's the one. So down here, hello Miguel, how's it going? Yes, glad to see you here again, my friend. Yeah, today I'm setting up my Raspberry Pi 4 to basically code some C++ and do some debugging all in the terminal, because the Raspberry Pi 4 is, at least my Raspberry Pi 4 is very slow when you install Visual Studio Code. So I'm trying to see if it's a better experience doing it with Vim. You're trying to cook something, yeah? Oh, good luck. I'm sure you're making some amazing food. What kind of food do you eat in Argentina? I don't think I've ever had any Argentine food. I know you guys like steaks and, you know, meats the same way as we in Brazil like it, so we're similar in that sense. Okay, what's going on here? I need to open the vim-dap again just to make sure that everything is properly set up. Because I'm now doubting the tutorial that I just read and all the stuff in it. So local lldb. I mean, yeah, this sounds fine actually. Still, I have not seen anywhere that shows you how to basically use lldb with nvim-dap. What I want to know is, like, what do I need to compile with, which any specific flags, as you know, except the debug ones obviously, and how do I actually run the lldb command to debug a binary. So that's what I'm trying to work out here. Flesh, steak, potatoes, flesh. Yeah, you mean meat, potatoes, steak, burgers, empanadas. Yeah, I like empanadas. I've had them once. We don't. That's one of the things we don't really have in Brazil. We don't have empanadas. We have other types of sort of doughy snacks. We have something called coxinha, which is a little sort of doughy thing with chicken inside, and it's very nice. But yeah, I do like empanadas as well. So. I'm just going from tutorial to tutorial here, trying to see if anyone explains it very easily. Okay, where's the rest of it? Oh, okay, so you load up. So DAP installed up. Ah, interesting. The Peabody. I highly suggest Milanese. Milanese, you mean the chicken with, you know, I think it was crispy chicken, right, with breadcrumbs, and then sauce on the top, tomato sauce, and cheese. Yeah, we have that in Brazil. We have chicken Milanese in Brazil as well. It's I do like it. It is one of my favorites, or used to be, because I've not eaten it since I moved to the UK, so it's been a while. So yeah, but chicken Milanese is really good. Let's get a picture up because I miss it. There you go. Oh, the one in Brazil, you see, we have sauce on the top. It's this chicken here, but you have tomato sauce and then cheese. So it's a little bit, maybe it's a little bit different to the, oh there you go, this is what the Brazilian one kind of looks like. And it is very good, so I do agree with that. I do understand why you like it. I need to find a way. I need to find someone who's gotten this to work with C++ and wants to share their knowledge. Why the hell am I coming up on the search bar here? I'm trying to learn this, not teaching it. Anyway, let's actually get lldb installed here. lldb debug program or something, just so we can get the feel for lldb. Okay, so they're throwing some shades to GDB straight away. Unlike GDB, we actually tend to keep our commands very structured. I like that. Question is, can you debug programs compiled with GCC with lldb? Ah. Can you debug programs compiled with GCC with lldb? Does it work? There you go. This is my question. Some sources say that GDB and lldb can debug any program compiled to machine code. Others say that to debug with GDB you must compile with GCC with the flag -g. So they're saying here, in theory, you should be able to debug a GCC built program with lldb and LLVM built program with GDB. In both cases, just compiled with -g. This is because both compilers generate object files in the same format, which is true. They tend to be fairly sort of cross-compatible, I guess. Okay, so if I go into the build, I've not actually built anything, have I? CMake. Actually, let me bring on everything again, just in case. So I'm just gonna build the audio shit again. Okay. So this is obviously using GCC, right? At the very top, because that's what's probably being sort of recognized by CMake. If I can get. There you go. This is the GNU compiler, in other words GCC or C++, whatever. And if I go into one of the executables that we created here, or the demo, does this work? Current executable set to this, and it seems to have worked. So let's see if we can at least set a breakpoint on one of the lines. Is there a cheat sheet or something like that? So if we do break at audio demo.object on the line, oh, this is where I don't know. Can we exit this and open vim? Why is it all grayed out? Why is it all grayed out? Oh, okay, because there's nothing here. There you go, now we can do the same thing. Okay, open vim. So if I put the file here, main.cpp, line, something like, you know, where is that main file? Sorry, main function. 115. Oh. I hadn't actually started the debugger here, have I? Yeah, okay, so we've got that there. So in here, in this terminal down here, I've opened the audio demo executable with lldb, so I can hopefully debug it. Now if I do something like break at main.cpp line, what is it, 115, does it work? No, because breakpoint did not recognize main.cpp. Main.cpp, that's valid, so the command might be invalid. To break line 12 of C and to break the function foo. As time went on, the parser. Okay, so it probably just doesn't know where the file is, right? So that didn't work either. Couple break main. That doesn't work either. Oh no, this is GDB. What the hell am I doing? Okay, so this is... I'm reading the wrong thing here. So if I do breakpoint, set file main.c++ line, this is what I'm reading out of this here, and 115. This is saying no locations, unable to resolve breakpoint to any actual locations. Okay. Now what if I just do the functioning? Does it work? Breakpoint set, name, main. Yeah, so it knows where the main is, it just doesn't know What I can guess, it doesn't know what the C++ file is, and that's okay. We can probably sort it out later. Because we can actually, you know, in GDB at least, you can open a C++ file into the program that you have currently, if it doesn't know what the C++ file is. So probably just have to do the same with lldb. Open file. Open core file, I guess. Oh no, it's not core dump. Open source file. Or include, I guess, a better. Just to make sure that things are compiled with debug, what do we have up there? So do we have the debug flag? We don't. We don't seem to have a debug flag. Yeah, no. So that's a first mistake. We need to include the debug symbols. Again, let's remove everything for now. And then do a cmake configuration again. And this time, let's actually set the cmake. I think it's called build type, isn't it? To debug. CMake used to tell you whether it's a debug or the release here. But anyway, it should be on the compile commands. So if you open the compile commands, there you go, -G is now here. So that's what we care about. And obviously we can copy this file. I need to put all this stuff into a script. Anyway, let's close this. Let's abort it. Unable to find executable audio demo. Where are we? Yeah, and that's right, because I basically removed everything. So what we need to do now is just do a cmake build here. I'm so thirsty today. Right. Okay, so everything's built. So we should be able to, again, open that with lldb. So, okay, what's the error? Error does not contain any host platform architecture. Why not? Let's copy this and just see what Google tells us. This is just stupid. I mean, obviously I've compiled the program, right? Right? I've definitely compiled the program. Those audio demo even run. It does run. So So the executable is definitely here. lldb. The demo. Why does it work now? It didn't work before, now it did. Anyway, so let's try and do that again. So if we do breakpoint, I think it was set, wasn't it? And then file, main.cv. Line, I think it was 58 or something. Now it did work. This is incredible because this means that we can compile something with GCC, and then debug it using lldb, which is the Clang's compiler, and that is good. We want that because that means that there's nothing stopping us from actually debugging this stuff apart from basically setting up the nvim-dap properly. So if what's the command to basically continue here? What's a process launch? Process launch. Okay. Oh, so that just runs everything. Is that right? Okay. And it hit our breakpoint right there. So line 58. Which is cool. Definitely cool. So that's just a simple test that we wanted. So let's actually exit this, because it means that lldb does indeed work with executables compiled with GCC. So okay, so we don't need this anymore. What we do need is just somewhere that will tell us how to actually debug it from nvim. So yeah, we found that, we're fine with that. lldb, VS Code, what's a com file? I have no idea. Timed out trying to get messages from the debugger adapter. We actually started debugging. Let's continue the keyword here. So if we press F5, is it going to work? Oh, this is the build directory, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay, here we are. Just turn that down for a bit. Let's find that main function again, and here we are on this one. So if we do a breakpoint there, press F5, does it work? No configuration file for C++. You need to add configurations to DAP configurations. See. Okay, so right, it's saying that we don't have a configuration for C++. But I could swear that we do. Right? We definitely have one. Let's add this one here. I want to use this for Rust and C++. That's something like this. Okay, cool. I don't want to use it for Rust because I don't actually do Rust. So let's add it to here as well, just in case. And then we'll copy it over here. Is there something wrong with the... I don't think so. The syntax. Okay. here. Nothing wrong, good. So if we do open a main again, and then in here we do a breakpoint, and then we run over 5. Ah, cool. So we do build. I just got a really good idea, but anyway, SRC audio demo.c++. Could not create a target for a program. Audio demo.cp. Unable to find executable. Okay, that's because I messed up. It should be build SRC audio demo, and then audio demo again, and that should work. And there we go. We finally can debug using the nvim-dap. So F10 here will work. Okay. There's no UI though, so I can't really see, well, we can't really see what's going on here. And this is where another plugin comes in, and this is probably the last plugin that we'll install because it's kind of really bloating our nvim installation. I believe it was mentioned here in this tutorial, where we have, where I think his name is Jake, right? Or Dave, his name is Dave. Dave is mentioning that there's no UI to this, so you need to install something like a UI for plugin for it. So yeah, we can try that. This can make it easier to see values and also what's changing. Outside it can be hard to read for languages with values being more complex. Okay. So maybe this is not what we want. This gives an out-of-the-box experience. Hooking is configurable. Start and stop in debug, yeah. Key mapping for toggling. So this sounds a little bit better. Let's go for this one. So that's okay. Let's install that. Then RC, and then let's just walk down to where we install the PEUI. Oh, I forgot to copy these single quotes. And now if we do a plugin install here, we should install the plugins for us. Great. And now if we open the project again, and this time let's just increase this because I feel like I'm gonna need more surface area here. Chad open. Let's open a main file, and again set a breakpoint in the main function. So you've got a breakpoint here. Oh, does it automatically open all the UI stuff? That's something I didn't do. These elements are windows in which provide different features. I guess you can have a split in Vim where each split is like a buffer with a particular UI element for this DAP UI thing. So you can have something like the stack frame in one of the windows, or the stack calls, and then the debugger window where you can put debugger commands, I can guess. You can supply an object to the DAP setup function too. Okay. This is very involved, so I'm just going to see if it works out of the box. If not, I'm going to do it tomorrow because it's getting quite late here and I need to go to bed. So anyway, so let's press F5 and do our obviously, so unfortunately the UI didn't come out straight away, so or maybe it does. It's there. I just need to toggle the elements, as they call it. Main problem with all of this that I'm doing now is that I can't really be bothered to read entire sort of huge documentations on usages for one particular plugin that should have been simple in the first place. Maybe I'm asking for too much here, but I don't have all the time in the world. Mappings open, jump to a place within the stack. To get started, simply call the setup method on startup option providing custom settings. Okay, so can we do this here anyway? So if I do lua require nvp UI dot setup, that seems to work. Let's do another one. Lua require nvp UI open. This is good. This is great shit. This is good stuff. And you can see here, you've got like all the elements. So if I close this window, we have something sort of reminiscent of Visual Studio Code or Visual Studio, except it probably is a lot quicker because it doesn't have all the bloats in it. Well, most of the bloats have. If we step out, okay, so this is amazing. This is really good. Yeah, this is really good. A few bugs though. Like this is kind of going over the other buffers, which is... it's only when you click on it anyway, so it only expands when you click on it. That's not too bad. But yeah, you can see the stack calls here. Let's try and step into something. So if I go to this is initializing the back end. Right. And it's taken quite a while. Oh, it's actually finished the project, so did I press F5 by mistake? I think I might have done. Build audio demo. Okay, so if we go on this, initializing backend, press F10. You can see it initializing the Jack server. And it finished. It seems to just return error, no such file directory. Also lib something, no such file directory. Init.done -1. So we could not initialize stuff. Oh, that's fine. Let's set another breakpoint like here or something just to make sure. Another one here. I think it's been terminated a little bit too early. Let's run it again. Audio waves, build, SSC audio. Audio demo, isn't it? So we hit that breakpoint there. If we continue, we do hit this, which is interesting. We step into it, square, create a square wave. F11 does not work. Step into it, I think, right? Maybe not. Does that step into it? Let's go into square waves again, step into it, there we go. So it seems to, you know, for all intents and purposes, seems to be an okay debugger within Vim. So for example, I want to see what, let's set a breakpoint here and press F5. I want to see what sound wave is. So the AP stacks, breakpoints, and locals. Sound wave, there. I don't know what I'm looking at. There's a lot of information here, if I'm honest. Sound wave. Okay. I mean, the next goal was to basically just see what this particular vector holds. I mean, I want to see what's inside a vector, right? That's not asking too much for a C++ debugging, I guess. But right now, I think I'm going to leave it here for this stream, and then I'll figure out how all of this works later. But yeah, I mean, it seems to work quite fine. I mean, I can quit all of this. I can hopefully stop debugging here by pressing the UI elements, and it is something that should work fairly well for us. But I mean, the only real issue I've got here is that, you know, I feel like the UI here is too sort of crammed. There's a lot of stuff here, and part of the reason why I'm trying to do this is so I can basically do what VS Code does, but a little bit more simple. In other words, having a little bit less of the bloat, and that does include the UI elements as well. But I do understand that you kind of need all of these elements here, as they call it. So you need the watches, you need the stack trace, you need the breakpoints, and you need to find, you know, values of local variables and the output of your program as well. So when debugging, you know, debugging is a dirty sort of process usually. And it doesn't have to be, but you know, when you've got to look at all this information, you kind of do have to look at many things at once. But yeah, we'll see what we can do in the next stream. But anyway, you know, if you're watching this, thank you very much, and we'll keep going for another day soon. Maybe tomorrow or in a few days. So you know, whatever happens, I hope you have a good weekend. Hope you're having a good evening. And just before I finish the stream, I want to say thank you to everyone who's subscribed to the channel, if anyone's watching this. And 2022 has been a difficult year, but you know, I managed to get quite a few subscribers in you know, along the year, so I've only got to be thankful for the YouTube community. And I'm hoping to post a lot more stuff in 2023, and I hope you guys, you know, are excited to basically watch all of this new content I'm going to be creating. So thank you very much, and good night.